Hello gorgeous! So today I have an updated brow routine for you guys. You see how I do my brows in most every one of my tutorials, but I wanted to do a video specifically on my brow routine. And when I look at or watch other videos on brows, I find that it's all about filling in the brows, which that's exactly what we need. But what about everything else? The maintenance and, you know, the plucking, tweezing, all that stuff. That's what I want to kind of dive into today and show you guys how I upkeep my brows and then also how I fill them in. So if you guys want to see how I do that, keep on watching. Okay, so there's several ways that you can upkeep your brows and remove hair. For me, I personally prefer to thread. And the reason I like to do that is I've waxed before and I don't like the outcome because I get a little bit irritated and bumpy. So I want to say probably more than 10 years ago, threading kind of hit the mall close to me in Akron, Ohio. And I just went to the booth, got it done, paid attention to what they were doing, and I was like, I can totally do this at home, so I did. I hopped on YouTube, this is like way back in the day, and I taught myself how to thread, and I've been doing it ever since. I've threaded pretty much every woman that I know, I would think, either their brows or their lips or whatever, and I personally prefer it because I don't get the irritated skin like I do with wax, and I feel like you get a much cleaner, like precise brow or lip removal with it because it's, and you don't ever want to tweeze your lip. That's just like torture, you know what I mean? So for my brows, I'm going to show you my routine and what I do. And just a heads up, I do go and get my brows professionally threaded, maybe once every 3 months or so, just to keep an overall map. And then in between, I keep up the regrowth on my own. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Okay, so there are two different techniques when it comes to threading, and it's all about the way that you hold the thread. Now, when I'm threading somebody else, I hold my thread differently than when I'm doing myself. So I just use regular sewing thread right here, like I got it at Joann Fabrics or something, and then I take a long piece and then I tie it in a circle like so. So what I do is I take the circle and then I start wrapping like so, to somewhere between 7 to 10 times, so that you have that little thing right there that goes back and forth, and that is the magic. So when you're threading on yourself, this is pretty much the only way that you can do this to yourself because you can't put it in your mouth to move the thread like I would if I were threading somebody else's face. So I'm going to show you guys how I do it like this. Okay, so just a disclaimer, I let my brows grow out for a few days and this is what we have. Mama is one hairy girl, so that's just a couple of days. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys how to do this. I'm going to start first with above my brows, just get the little scragglies out of the way. So what I'm doing is laying it against my skin, and I'm just taking my hands and moving it so that I'm moving the little center part back and forth. As you can see, it's a quick motion, but it gets you a really nice line. And if you want to get one brow in particular, you just get it right in that V and pull it, and there you go. Okay, so now that I'm really cleaned up, I'm going to trim my brows because I don't know about you, but my brows get really long. So I'm just taking a spoolie brush and I'm just going to comb them upwards and kind of get a nice, even trim. Okay, so now that I'm done cleaning up my brows, I'm ready to fill them in. So I love using Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. This is in chocolate, and my It Cosmetics brow brush. And all I do is dip the brush right into the dip brow, like so. And then I wanna make sure I have an even amount. Now to make sure that I don't leave any chunks and I like I said, I have an even amount to put in my brows, I take this on the back of my hand and I make sure to wipe off any excess. Look at all that excess that comes off right there. And then that way I'm ready to put this evenly all over my brows. So if you're not comfortable with working with a product like this, you can definitely use a brush, but I love this because it's so workable. So all I'm gonna do is start right about midway through the bottom portion of my brow and just line it out. And then go to the top, brush these down. So that way you can see the perfect line of your brow to fill it in. And then I'm just gonna pick up a little bit extra on the brush. And if you don't get it perfect on the line, don't worry, you can go back and clean that up. But I'm just working this through my natural brow line. And now I'm just taking whatever is left on the brush and working it through my brows. So for the front part of my brows, I like that really nice natural transition right there. It kind of looks like an ombre from, you know, just not at all to barely filled in to then filled in. I take whatever is left over on my brush after I've already finished my entire brow, and then what I do is I go in with a very light hand. And in order to make sure you have a light hand, hold your brush towards the furthest point away from the end that you're using and just work it right through very, very lightly, like so. And that's how you get that really pretty, nice, natural ombre transition right there. Okay, so if I have any parts of my brows that just need touched up or filled in a little bit more, and I just want to like lightly powder it in, I love using this. This is from Benefit Cosmetics. It's the BROWSing Brow Kit. This is a medium, and it looks like this. And I like to use the powder, and it comes with this really neat little densely packed brush, and it's perfect for applying it. And then this side is a wax. So using the little brush in that kit from Benefit, I'm just taking the powder color and filling in any little sparse areas I might have, just to get a really nice even coverage. So then to cement my brows in place all day, I love using a clear mascara. I've been using it since probably junior high school, but also lately I've been using this Benefit Gimme Brow. This one is in the medium deep shade, and the reason I like this is because of the teeny tiny little brush. Do you see that little spoolie? That it really helps you to get in there and tame any little flyaway brows you might have. Okay, so the last step really is to just clean up your brows if you want a really nice sharp edge on your brows and just make it look really fresh. And so what I like to do is just take a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand like this, and then I'll pick it up with the concealer brush and then line it. So just so that you know, a really great progression when you're doing brows and like when you really want to get a sharp brow look is to first do your primer and foundation, then do your brows, then do your eye makeup. And the reason I say that is that if you have your eye makeup already done and then you do your brows, you're gonna mess up that really beautiful highlighted brow bone you've already fixed if you have any fallout at all, or if you just wanna even clean up your line. It's gonna mess that up. So I always suggest doing your brows before your eyes if you wanna get that really great look. For a really pretty brow bone, what I like to do is use Benefit's Highbrow and just mark up right below, like so, and then blend it out. And it just gives you that really gorgeous highlight right there. Okay, so that is my updated brow routine. I hope you learned something new. And guys, do not feel any pressure at all to thread yourself. If you want to dabble in it, try it a little bit. Make sure to try an inconspicuous area that you can't really mess up, like your upper lip. It took me a while to be comfortable enough to be able to thread my own brows, so don't feel like you need to dive in and be able to do that. All right, thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment below and let me know what video you want to see from me next. And guys, make sure to visit me over on my blog, AngelaLanter.com. I love you guys so much, and thank you for watching. Au revoir.